I've heard the stories. You probably have too. Adolf Hitler, the most hated man in history, may have survived the war, not dying in a Berlin bunker, but escaping on a submarine to Argentina. A life in hiding, a theory, or something more. Let's dive in together, into a chapter many believe to be closed, but maybe it isn't. The final days in the bunker, April 1945. Berlin lies in ruins. The war is lost. Soviet troops are at the doorstep. Beneath the Reich Chancellery, in a narrow bunker 40 feet underground, sits a broken man. Hitler, sick, trembling, isolated. He barely speaks, eats little, wanders the halls like a ghost of himself. Outside, bombs fall. Inside, despair. And yet, he clings to illusions. Phantom divisions are supposed to save Berlin. A counterattack led by General Wenck. But none of it will ever happen. The bunker becomes a tomb, and everyone knows it. He still celebrates his birthday, his 56th. A few officers, a couple of secretaries, cheap champagne. Then silence. On April 30th, Hitler retreats to his private room with Eva Braun. A gunshot. Silence. Seconds pass. No one moves. Then 2 staff members enter the room. They report Hitler is lying on the sofa, pistol in his right hand, a bullet wound in his temple. Eva Braun beside him, likely killed by poison. The bodies are carried outside, doused in gasoline, and set on fire. That's the official version. But what if that's where the myth begins? Doubts and conspiracy theories. The Soviets recover some remains. Teeth, bone fragments, ashes, but nothing definitive. No full body, no photo, no international confirmation. And Stalin? Shortly after, he claims Hitler escaped. To Spain. Or Argentina. Was it deliberate disinformation, propaganda, or a trace of truth? A skull is examined decades later using modern forensic science. The result, the skull doesn't belong to Hitler. It belonged to a woman. What remains? A whisper of doubt, and the beginning of one of the greatest escape legends of the 20th century. Theories of escape, doubles, submarines, secret routes. One of the earliest theories, Hitler used a body double. That man was shot, burned, and passed off as Hitler. Meanwhile, the real dictator was already en route. Out of Berlin, out of Europe. Sounds far-fetched? Perhaps. But Stalin had doubles. Churchill too. So is it really that impossible? One story tells of a small aircraft landing in Berlin, in the Tiergarten, amid the chaos. It takes off again, allegedly carrying high-ranking Nazis. Maybe even Hitler. Maybe. Others believe he fled through Norway, then by submarine to South America. Argentina, which at the time offered refuge to many Nazis, Eichmann, Mengele. So why not Hitler? The Nazi escape routes, known as the rat lines. After the war, hundreds of Nazis escape, across the Alps, through Italy, with help from Catholic networks, corrupt officials, and even the Red Cross. Their destination? Argentina, Brazil, Chile. Many are given new papers, new identities, new lives. Names are changed, histories rewritten. Whole towns remain silent for decades. Juan Perón, Argentina's president, welcomes them in exchange for money, knowledge, and secrecy. Many arrive, in hiding, under false names. If it worked for other war criminals, why not for the most notorious of them all? Sightings in South America. A man named Philip Citroën, a former SS officer, reports in 1955. He saw Hitler in Colombia. Going by the name Adolf Schuttelmeyer, he even provides a photo. Blurry, but suspicious. The CIA takes it seriously enough to archive the report. They don't dismiss it. Other sightings emerge in Brazil, Chile, Patagonia. People describe an older German man with a distinctive look, a prominent mustache, and an obsessive desire to remain unnoticed. Some of these accounts match in remarkable detail, despite coming from different countries. Coincidence? Plastic surgery? A new life in a hidden German enclave? None of it proven, but none of it fully debunked either. The U-boat theory, July 1945. 2 German submarines, U-530 and U-977, suddenly surface off the coast of Argentina, weeks after the war's end. The crews surrender, but say nothing. No explanation for their continued mission. No documents. Everything had been destroyed. Why? Some believe the submarines carried more than just sailors. Maybe gold, maybe top-secret files, maybe Hitler himself. The Americans observe closely. Reports go directly to Navy intelligence, and yet no definitive conclusion is ever reached. The escape to Spain. Another theory points to Spain. In the final days of April, the Nazis still control a few airfields. A special aircraft, the Fieseler Storch, could have taken off. Destination: Spain. Under Franco's regime, many Nazis found shelter. Again, reports exist, claims, clues, but no hard proof. Some sources say Hitler was taken to a remote monastery, given false documents, hidden by powerful allies. Was it all a decoy or a real exit? Hitler in Brazil or Chile? In 2014, Brazilian author Simone René Guerreiro Dias makes a bold claim. Hitler lived under the name Adolf Leipzig in a small village in Brazil until 1984. She presents a photo. An elderly man. Pale skin, sharp features. Next to him, an Afro-Brazilian woman. His partner? His disguise? Historians dismiss it. No solid evidence. But the story makes headlines. Like so many others. Colonia Dignidad in Chile, a secretive German cult founded by Paul Schaefer. Isolated. Protected. Was it a safe haven? There are clues, but no conclusion. What does science say? In 2017, French scientists are finally granted access to remains long held in Russian archives. Fragments of teeth, metal dental bridges. They compare them to dental records from Hitler's personal dentist, Dr. Hugo Blaschke. The result? The teeth match. They showed typical signs: poor hygiene, a vegetarian diet, even chemical traces, possibly from cyanide. The scientists say it is highly likely these were Hitler's teeth, but they also say it cannot be known with absolute certainty, because a body doesn't exist. No full corpse, no verified photo, no grave, only testimonies and fragments. So what are we left with? Official history says Hitler died on April 30th, 1945, in Berlin, by suicide. But the missing photo, the burned remains, the lack of an international autopsy, the late discoveries, the CIA files, the sightings, they leave a small door open. Not a big one, but enough for a legend to survive. A legend fueled by YouTube, books, shows like Hunting Hitler, and countless documentaries. Maybe because people can't accept that such evil could simply die in a dark room, without witnesses, without punishment, without closure. Did Hitler die, or did he escape? It remains one of the last great unsolved mysteries of the 20th century. Maybe forever.